Welcome back. What we're doing today is the driver's side. We're gonna get all the dents fixed and we're gonna prime it. Hopefully I'll get it in primer by today, but we might be pushing it just a little bit. Right here we're looking at a pretty big ding, and honestly I might can get from the back side and beat it out. But you can see all my circles right there. A lot of it's glazed and block and prime, so I don't think we're gonna have to do too much work to this side. Just a lot of dings. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna get the back hatch, whatever you call this, I guess they call it a tailgate. We're gonna disassemble all this stuff, block this down and prime it. There's some rust going on back here. It's just a little surface, so we're gonna cookie wheel that and prime it. We're gonna get the mirrors sanded, get those in primer, get the extreme kit sanded. I got the first coat on there. It's a little rough. I'm gonna sand it down and re-prime it. Should be good to go. We gotta do the background effects. This actually has gotten done a lot faster than the 252, but like I said, there's not a lot wrong with it, other than the rust. We're gonna take this off. There's a couple screws. There's one right there, there's one there. This is fiberglass. If any S10 owner has had a problem with the door not popping and you got to beat the shit out of it just to get it to pop. I don't know if it's got something to do with the spring not pushing it far enough to give it like a bind so it will pop open. But I got the beat on it just to get this to pop loose. And I don't know if it has anything to do with this right here. But when I pull this back, it should just pop open. If not, I'm gonna just have to get a new whole wire. We're gonna get this back disassembled and we're gonna get all the ground effects off, including the bumper. I cannot find this bumper anywhere. We got to get the outside done, then we got to get the inside painted. The doors are actually cane painted. So what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna flake these. I don't know if I'm gonna order the rattle can or I'm just gonna order the flake and just do clear. So with flake, there's a lot to it. With Zach's, we ordered a .008 millimeter flake, 2 pounds of it. It's a lot. So what you have to do is I have a Roth 3.0 millimeter tip. It's a flake blaster, but it's a spray gun. So you mix the flake in the clear, and you always got to make sure while you're spraying it, it's shaking up, or all the flake's gonna seep to the bottom. So the hard part is getting the flake to lay even. You got to lay it even throughout the whole thing, so the door panels won't be too hard. So what you got to do is you got to spray the flake up there. I don't know how many coats, probably like 2 or 3. And that thing is like a fucking fire hose. When you spray it, that 3.0 lets it out. Then you come over it with like 3 or 4 coats of clear. Then you got to let it sit. You got to let it sit and bake, shrink up. Then after it shrinks, you got to sand it down again and re-clear it, and then it's all nice and flat. We're definitely gonna paint the windshield wipers, all the wipers. So we do have to put a sticker there to make sure that this blade doesn't scratch the paint. So right now we're gonna take the cowl off. We're gonna take the door apart, all the ground effects off, and disassemble that back tailgate. And then we'll start the body work. Alright, it's the second day. It's Sunday today. I didn't record jack last night. I'm gonna be honest about that. I was in such a working mood. I set the camera down and I just started busting ass, to be honest. Realistically, from the time I put the camera down, I worked up to about 5:30. Me and Tara left and we went looking at property. Came back about 6:30 and worked till about 10:30, 10:30, somewhere around there. So I took the bumper off, took the rest of the ground effects off, got all the body work over here done. I got the body work done to this quarter. We're gonna sand this down with 320 and prime it. I got that dent down there beat out just a second ago, so it ain't as bad. So I'm just gonna scuff it. Well, not scuff it, I'm gonna sand it with 80, wipe it, block that. I'm gonna sand all those spots and block them. There's a little line going right down here. I don't know if you can see it. There's a little waviness in it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna tap this down very lightly and probably glaze it and then block that, and that should be done. So I have a 2001 Blazer Extreme and they come with a bumper. So the bumper goes across, kind of goes down a little bit, comes back up and goes like that. That's what comes on the Extremes. What my bumper does goes straight across. So as you can see here, it goes straight. I was searching up everything out the ass that I could possibly think of. 01 Extreme, 01 S10, 01 step side, everything that I could possibly think of just to get this flat bumper. I couldn't fucking find it. And I mean, I spent a minimum of 5 hours looking for it. Nothing. But I figured out what they did when I took it off. As you can see here, I'm sanding some off. They got some Bondo in it, whatnot. If you look on the back side, this is the factory bumper and not mine. This is a bumper from a 1995 model Blazer. What they did was they cut this out right here, cut that square out for that camera that don't even fucking work. So they cut the surroundings out, and then what they did was they took a roll pan and welded the roll pan onto the factory 95 bumper. The reason I'm replacing it is because of that rust right there. It's just coming right off. I don't know if I'll be able to get the cowl under the blades done, but I'm trying to get a decent amount done this weekend so we can get this thing painted. So I'm gonna get right into it. I'm gonna try to record as much as I can, but that's just me. So. So I'm going to show y'all why, after you do your body work, you prime it twice. Not everybody's perfect. We'll go ahead and put it that way. Everyone will make mistakes. But you always got to check your work. That's why we block the first prime with a heavier grit sandpaper, so it really gets in there and shows you what you missed. So right here, I blocked this panel. This is the one where the tree fell right here. Okay, there was all body work right in here. Up here looks fantastic. I'm gonna have to block some more right there. Actually, it's just pinholes, so I'm just gonna have to fill it in. But right here, that is actually the old paint. So it might be a little out, so you might have to tap that down just a touch, not a lot. Now this right here is definitely an outie. And what that means is when I pulled this up, that one didn't go back in. So I'm going to tap this very lightly, but be careful, because if you tap it too hard, it could cause a problem down here or up here. So I'm going to tap it down very lightly. I'm going to hit this side with the flat side of the hammer, tap it in very lightly. I'm going to wipe it, block it, and that's it. It's done. Now I might have to block this fender one more time just to make sure, but as far as tapping this stuff goes, I should be okay. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grind the pinholes out, and I'm going to wipe those with a razor blade. There's another one right there. That way everything's nice, flat, and even, and then this fender will be ready. Alright, we're back. It's the next day. I didn't record a whole lot yesterday. I was focused on getting a majority of the stuff done. Oh shit, what we're doing today is we're gonna block down all the work and reprime it. So I'll show you what I got here. We fixed work in this one. This one, I actually, when I tapped it down and wiped it, it didn't come out like I thought, so I had to tap it down some more. The bottom right there, that was pretty tough. But other than that, everything looks pretty good so far. I got all my flares done, my mirrors and end caps, or ground effects. So far we're doing pretty good. I would have liked to gotten the roof done this weekend, but it's fine. I took a razor blade of this and some of the paint's peeling off of it, so that's fucking great. This is fiberglass, so it's not gonna be easy to fix. I'm gonna block this down, reprime it, untape it, and we're done with this side, if everything looks good. So what we got is the front grille disassembled. It's ready to be scuffed up. Both mirrors and both quarter ground effects. I got this untaped. My dumb ass was untaping it, and the tape stuck. I don't know if you can see it, but it stuck and ripped the primer off. But that's fine right there because the ground effect goes over it. But beware, don't be like me and untape your shit before it's done drying. I'll show you what we're doing right now. I got a piece of 80 grit sandpaper, folded up in half. So what I'm doing is, the spot, this is the stupidest shit I've ever seen on a vehicle. This piece right here that comes on the glass, you gotta tape up your glass. I put 2 layers of tape over it, just in case I burn through the first one. It won't go through the second one, but it could go through the second one. So I've got to sand it all down to look like this. So you see the little black shit? I got to get that off of there. And it pisses me off because you can't remove this without taking the glass off, as far as I know. I'm taking 80 grit, going by hand, making sure I don't hit the glass, and I'm just slowly sanding this. You got to get in your corner, so that's what I'm doing now.